We'll get started in a minute. The 819th meeting of the City of Laurel Historic District Commission will come to an order. I'm not Doug Hayes. I'm not Mr. Lacoon. They're both absent tonight, so they've asked me to sit in for them to moderate the meeting. The qualifications of the members of the commission, the staff to the commission, and any consultants used are on file with the city and are hereby made a part of each and every application heard today. The guidelines and procedures adopted by the commission are also made a part of each and every application. Each application heard today is considered on its own merit and is not to be considered as establishing a precedent for any other application. We'll move to the first agenda item, the roll call.
Chairman Hayes, Mr. Lacoon, Councilmember Les.
Here.
Ms. McSeany. Here. Ms. Lubinecki. Here. Ms. Frazier. Here. Ms. Rambo. You have a quorum.
Thank you, Brooke. Move to agenda item number 2. Approval of the minutes of the regular HDC meeting held on February 19th, 2019. I'll note that members of the quorum here tonight were at that meeting. What's the pleasure of the commission? Thank you, Karen.
Oh,
Do I have a second?
I will say I have a correct.
Okay.
I abstained from the approval of the
Of the
January
previous
minute.
minute.
Yes.
Okay. We'll make that change. Do you second it with that change? Do you
Yes, I
second
do.
it with that change? Do you
Yes, I
second
do.
it with that change? Do you
Yes, I
second
do.
it with that change? Do you
Yes, I
second
do.
it with that change? Technology gone amok. Okay. Have a motion and a second. Call the roll, Brooke.
Ms. Lubinecki. Yes. Councilmember Les.
Yes.
Ms.
I'm sorry.
Frazier.
Yes.
Ms. McSeany.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Move to agenda item number 3. HDC 050-2019 for 217 Main Street, submitted by Bruno, Nwogu, on behalf of the owner, J. Davis. It was tabled in both January and February meetings for approval to replace lighted sign on building front. Message reads total wireless in blue with red and white lettering. Sign has already been installed. Sign is the company's logo. However, it was requested at last month's meeting for the applicant to use a sign that would conform to the look on Main Street, preferably not so bright the color as the current sign. Yes, sir. If you state your name and address for the record.
Yes, sir. My name is Chigozie, Bruno Nwogu, and my address is 217 Main Street.
Okay.
I submitted a whole range of different signs that could be approved by permission from the company, the franchise. So we can only be limited to that. But I would like to make it clear. Total Wireless, the new brand around here. Starting off that, one company here has really. Yes, I said Total Wireless is a new brand around here, and getting that business started has really taken us a lot of money to get it started. And my plea centers mainly on finances for us to start doing that signage all over again. Because if you look at the list of signage that we could pick from, the one I submitted to the secretary, there is a company that the Total Wireless outsourced the production of such signage to. And it's not, even as yesterday, I got a letter from them demanding the last part of payment for that one that is there. Right? I even came with the letter. So if this commission says we should ask us to change it, that will really, they could do that, and we'll be willing to do that, but we're just looking at the cost right now, being a new business around here and all that, and we don't have that money, right? That's just the restraint we have. So I don't know whether it's enough reason to urge the commission to allow us to keep it for now. But if it is, I will really urge the commission to look to it. Actually, I came with this letter. If you want to say it, I can pass it around.
Okay. Yes, I have a question because you submitted to the city, I think on February 27th, it's dated, I think, an email, I guess, to you, Brooke, regarding alternative colors that within Total Wireless are acceptable.
Yes. And there is a picture of the inside of the office. There is a big metallic, line that has to conform to the color, whatever color you choose to. I equally submitted that.
So you had some choices in the colors that you chose? Because these are much darker blues that we're seeing here. This is what you sent, what we have in our packet.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
These are a much darker.
Like that color now, that's dark blue.
Right.
If you look at it, compare it with what we have right now, you will see that the width of that signage is more. Now, what it means is that if we are going to change it, what it means is that we're not only changing the signage as it is, where the letters are written, we're equally changing the framework. And because it will not fit into what we have right now. The framework that is carrying the signage right now is different. The framework is much.
I actually have a Pantone. I happen to have a Pantone book here.
So they don't make the same size sign in the darker color.
Okay, so and here, okay.
Oh, let Margie ask that question. Go ahead, Margie.
Yeah, so you can't get the sign you have just in the different color.
The different color, the only other different color that will come in that particular size will be white and green.
Okay.
Okay, so here's Mr. Chairman.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chair.
I can actually add something, just coincidentally, because the color on the other application that I'm doing didn't show up in our packet. I brought my Pantone book with me, and here's the problem. If you look on here, the color that's listed as the Pantone is 3275C. If you look at this 3275C, which is
bright blue,
it's the blue that he actually has up there. So this, I'm just saying, what we're seeing is not the color that's being listed here. So if we actually approve this blue, it would be the exact same.
Look on the right-hand side of those. That's what's showing the alternative.
Well, that's at night.
Okay, when you're, it lists the color chart here. That's what I'm saying.
The 3275C
is the
is
Pantone.
the teal.
The Total Wireless color chart is the colors that they actually list. Marlene, if you look at the blue.
Oh, I'm looking at a different one. I was
Right.
looking at the one where it's
This
white
is it here.
background.
Which is
It's a
totally,
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
the one that's there now,
Yeah.
which is not the same color that's in this.
but that's what they're listing, but they're listing
It
this
just doesn't
blue
print the same.
isn't printing the
It's
right
the printer.
color.
No,
It's the printer.
The truth
Problem.
is that sorry to that. The truth is we don't. The printing of those signage comes from only one company. The only thing Total Wireless does is they give us their contact, get in touch with them to produce that sign for you. They give you a time limit. So if there is little variance in the color, it's totally handled by a different company, not
Yeah,
us.
well, you should have checked that, sir, because this color that's listed here in your application,
Mhm.
3275C, that darker blue,
Is actually
is
not.
this color. This is the Pantone panel.
I mean, and what are the odds of my having one with me? But
So your problem is not with this commission, it's with your source. Wherever you got them from, wherever your applicant got the signs from, this application is not consistent with what the color really is.
and that's why your sign's printed that turquoise color. So the question is which is an authentic color representation? Because we were about to discuss, when we're discussing it, we're thinking we're looking at the blue that is in this packet here.
Mhm.
Okay. And just coincidentally, because we happen to have a Pantone chart here, looking at the color that is listed for Total Wireless, it's actually this. So if we said to you, print that blue, you'd end up with the exact same thing. So that's where we're a little
Part of the problem might be in his color printer.
yeah, or our color printer.
Yeah.
It's certainly possible. So the question, I guess, going back to you to clarify, the materials that you sent us here,
Mhm.
these are the required colors that the company tells you have to use. Is that correct?
Yes, I just forwarded the email gotten from the company that I received from the company on all the signage. I just forwarded it to the Secretary of the Commission, just the way I got it.
So the only solution to our issue is for you to go with the black and white and red. Because everything else has that bright
Yes.
teal color.
I would go with the black, white, red.
Well, the black what?
Oh,
Yeah, the black and white and red.
I don't think that comes in that size.
Well, I mean, this a panel drops into the sign, is that correct?
Yes.
Because it's backlit.
He said
Yes,
nothing.
it is
fits in there.
fixed into
Yeah,
Yeah, and
framework.
it's backlit, so
Page
it drops
3, I
in.
think, is what fits in there.
It's backlit, drops in because it's backlit.
Right. But that black and white one does not appear to be such a sign that would drop into it. See,
Well, it looks like that. Okay. so
see
that's-
these? Those are on every page except the black and white one.
Well, even on, so on page, this one, even where you could have the white background, isn't that the same?
Yeah.
What are the dimensions of this puppy?
Do you know the dimensions of your sign?
I think this is 7 feet, 7 feet by 2 feet. The one
4 by
we have right
24.
now.
And it seems to me they're offering you every option in every size here, pretty much.
Except for the white one.
Well, this says varies.
Which one are you looking at, Mark?
I'm looking at this, where it says varies.
And then how
That says
tall
varies.
is it?
It varies.
It's
It
just
varies.
it's a drop-in panel.
Mike, that's great.
Base replacements for cabinets. Oh. Theoretically, you could do this. You could still have the letters in teal on a white ground, and that would match the interior item.
Yeah.
But that would solve that problem.
If you did this one with
Right, with the
this,
and it's because it'll still be the teal, but yeah.
right, so the interior could stay the same. So it looks to us that this sign comes in whatever size you want. It just comes as a panel that you
As a
can
replacement.
replace the panel you have in the fixture that's already there.
Two fixtures. There's two,
fixtures.
correct?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Right.
So you wouldn't have to pay for a new fixture just for the panel.
Yeah, just for the panel.
And you wouldn't have to do anything to the inside, right? Because you still got your
Teal.
teal colors, right?
For that, I think the inside has to be white. We have to order the white one.
Well,
That will match with it.
What, the inside of the
There is-
office?
Yeah,
You have a
there's
sign
panel.
on the.
That's up to you.
There's a panel that goes with the sign.
Oh, the wireless requires that the inside match the outside.
Well, that's a discussion then with Total Wireless.
I can't imagine that Total Wireless hasn't encountered historic districts before where people have regulations and HOAs have, you know what I mean? Commercial districts
Right.
have regulations.
But I think that's why they provide the three versions,
Mm-hmm.
three color versions of the
Right.
sign.
Yeah.
How about if he checked with Total Wireless to confirm that he would have to change something inside if he uses the white sign? And if he does not have to change it, then we could approve him going forward with that sign.
Well, since the interior doesn't really impact it.
No, it doesn't. But it
I think if
impact-
we approve what Margie has suggested, then it's a discussion for the owner applicant
Yeah,
to take up Total Wireless. Because we can't dictate what's inside the office.
but I think perhaps if they knew that this was an issue for you being in a historic district, that they might make a small exception so that you could keep the interior the way it is and just change the panel.
I wouldn't say for certain, in as much as I would be willing to do anything we could conform with the historic district. It's just my only concern there is the cost of those. That's my only concern.
The cost of the panels,
Yes,
the replacement panel.
the replacement.
Do you know what that cost is?
At least we're looking at 1,000.
It is
plus.
unfortunate that cost has nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
I mean, were you aware that this is in the historic district?
Huh?
Were you aware that this building was within the historic district?
Yes, I'm aware. One
Okay,
of the
but you
things-
didn't make application for the signage before you put them up.
Actually, before we took up that office there,
Yep.
that place used to be a Metro PCS.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
The Metro PCS signage is not very different from that signage. In
Except
fact,
the colors.
that was why,
Except the colors. You've got this teal color, which is far different from Metro PCS. And that's one of the purviews of the historic district, is they do control color scheme. It's part of what we have jurisdiction over. In addition to the signage ordinance the city has about how big a sign you can put up. Okay.
whatever decision the commission takes, we'll abide by it.
Yeah. I'll entertain the motion.
Well, I will move that we request the business owner to replace the teal sign with one with white background.
I'll second that.
And that's with the teal letter,
With
Is
the
there-
teal lettering or the black lettering.
black and or teal letter. Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Karen
I
seconded.
second
I'm
it.
sorry, I apologize.
That's okay.
Ms. McSaney,
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki,
Yes.
Councilmember Les,
Yes,
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
motion carries.
thank you, sir.
Sir, we are sympathetic, but
Agenda item number 4, HDC 056-2019, 417 Main Street.
Yes. You have a question?
Is it a time frame that we have to do that?
Was it 30 days to conform? Brooke?
We're asking.
45.
Huh?
45.
45. They haven't been cited, correct? Okay, so you have 45 days to conform.
So what it means is that we'll bring down the one that's there right now, because
No, you can leave it up there till you get the new sign. You have 45 days to.
even if we place the order, it won't be completed till the next at least 2 months. I know that we won't receive the new one till at least the
Well,
next
I-
2 months.
We have rules, and it's a 45-day rule.
okay, but I think, Mr. Chairman, I think if there was if you can produce a letter from the company that indicates that they've been ordered and the date that they can deliver, perhaps we can show a little leniency to the applicant who is having to incur an additional whole process while he's trying to open a new business.
I'll leave that. We can leave that up to the.
So I think some leniency in
Yeah,
that would
leave it
certainly
up
be
to staff.
called for.
Thanks, Karen.
All right.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
HDC 056-2019, 417 Main Street, submitted by Keyhani, Hamideh. I know I messed that name up. I apologize. Hey, I like that. Why don't you come right up here, Kay? You want to put some signs up too. Why don't you tell us what you're doing?
So I like to start a yoga wellness center there in this property. And so my application I applied for, I have 3 requests. One is to put up 3 signs. 2 of them are going to be where the previous business actually had 2 signs there. It's going to be exactly, will have the same look and feel. And the other one is going to be new, and that's going to be installed at the front yard,
Okay.
2-sided, and
So it would be freestanding?
that one will be freestanding, yes. It's going to be installed on a 24-inch, the height of it, 24 by 42 wooden sign, and 4x4, 2 4x4 posts, the front yard.
Are you planning to light them? To light the freestanding one?
I wasn't planning to, but it's a good idea. Thank you.
So what if you were going to light it, what kind of light would we probably be more interested in approving, Mr. Chairman? Someone?
Would it be one with a timer so that it would go off late at night?
You know, a spotlight on it or something.
Yeah, maybe something like that. I like it to be a little bit also, and because it's going to be a yoga studio, so I don't like it to be a neon signs.
We wouldn't approve
Right,
the new
yeah.
one.
We wouldn't
No,
approve
we're
that
talking about
anyway.
lighting
Right.
Yeah.
lighting the wellness, the
Yes.
wooden sign.
We like the freestanding sign. It's just, their fixtures that are close to the ground that shine up on
Shining
it,
into
and you
the
could do
side.
that on
Yes,
either
sure.
side.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
Okay, so that's one.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, we
Second
haven't
one.
Yes.
The second request I have is because of the in the shape of there are rooms that are very small, so I need to have at least one large studio in the or at least two large studio. And the only way I can actually create these two large size of studio are to remove the chimneys that are located in between the rooms. But that's not the only reason I want to remove I have sent pictures that shows the chimneys. There are two stove chimneys that have not been used for so many years. And they have, over time, they have caused damages to the ceilings and also the wall all the way to the basement. So I have consulted the roofer as well as the chimney companies, three actually chimney companies, and they all suggested that the best way or the less costly way to take care of these chimney is to remove them. I also asked them if there is a possibility to remove internally, leave it up there, leave the chimney externally on the roof. And they said that because the chimney is actually the lower part of the chimney is kind of like a foundation supporting the upper part, that's not a possibility. So, and one of them is not even, if you look at the pictures from Main Street, one of them is all the way at the back. It's not even showing when you are looking from the Main Street. Only the left one I'm requesting. So that's actually the one that's showing from the Main Street. And the main chimney, which used to be it wasn't a stove chimney, it was a main fireplace. That they have used it for a few years back. Apparently, they used it to run the vents and the air condition docking system through it, which is a huge one. So that's going to remain untouched.
So in the interior of the house, which we don't really have any jurisdiction, the main fireplace will still remain, which is a very historic house. So
Exactly, that's going to stay there.
That's nice to hear. I was a little concerned when you were saying that.
And the third one is, of course, the roofing. That's mainly, I have to be honest with you, the reason I'm requesting to replace the roofing is in a very bad shape. So there are leaks actually in the attic everywhere, even come to the second floor ceiling. So the reason I'm requesting to replace, I would have loved to keep the metal ceiling because of the look of it, of course, but the cost of replacing it with the metal, with the current material, is 3 times of the architectural shingles. So basically, that's the main reason I'm requesting to replace it with the. I need to replace it, whether architectural shingles or metal. The metal costs 3 times more. So at this stage, since I like to start the business, I mean, I do the interior changes to be able to start the business. It's really not possible for me to spend that amount of money to use the same metal roofing.
I noticed that earlier you had requested repair of the metal roof. Is there some reason you changed your mind?
I don't think that I had requested. I actually I believe I suggested that maybe it was the way I put it up, it wasn't clear, but I requested to the roofer gave me three options. One option was to repair it, which is going to be, he's, guaranteeing his work for 3 years, which means after 3 years, I'm going to have to do something, either replace it with this, same metal material, which is going to cost 3 times, or architectural shingle. So I thought to myself, but the cost of that, and I'm just going to tell you what the cost is. So the cost of repair is $9,000. The cost of architectural shingles is $12,000. The cost of metal roofing is $32,000. So I thought instead of spending $9,000 to just do the repair for 3 years, so why not just replace the roof with architectural shingles, which is going to last me close to 50 years.
Is there some reason you don't believe the repair will last longer than 3 years?
That's what the roofer told me.
That's his guarantee for it. That's not the same as
Yeah,
how
3
long?
years. 3 years, yeah, he's guaranteeing his work for 3 years.
Right, but that's not saying that the roof won't last longer. I mean, metal roofs, they may need to repaint.
But yeah, definitely. But the thing is, if you look at the roof, I've closely inspected the roof from the windows that are actually looking over the roofs. They're pretty in a bad shape. The metals are all ripped off all over the place. So what he's suggesting is, may I submit
Sure.
this? Using this material. Gluing things or patching things together.
So he's not,
So
yeah, this doesn't look
Let
particularly.
me see. There's a good one. Let me see.
While they're passing that down, are you looking at only the roof that's on the top of the building? Because when I went past to look at the property, it looked like the porch roof is in perfectly good shape.
it's apparently, unfortunately, the original owner of the house, the property, passed away, and I purchased it from the state. So they gave me absolutely no history or information about the property. But apparently the roof on the porch was replaced recently.
I mean, because it looks brand new.
Exactly. And that's metal. They
And
use
that you're
metal.
planning to keep that, right?
Yes.
I mean,
because
you're not
it's-
tearing that off. You're leaving.
No, it's pretty new, yes.
When you got your estimate for the shingles, did they include all new plywood?
It did because underneath everything is rotten, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
not everything, but it requires,
It's just different because probably that roof's laid over cedar shake. Most of the metal roofs in town have been, because that allowed the metal to breathe, and they didn't want to take off the shakes. But the shakes go on these strips, so there's no solid piece of plywood under there. They'd have to re-plywood the entire roof.
He's going to do that.
Okay.
May I ask a question? I want to know whether if I manage to do the metal roof, because I think Ruth told me or somebody told me about the tax credit. What would be the tax credit if I manage to get the same material for the roofing?
Well, if you said
10%.
10%.
so, it'd be 3,800.
It's not a tax credit. What happens is, spend the money, you do the repair, then you submit the bill, and the city sends you a check for the 10%. And the roof would qualify.
So if your roof were $38,000, you would, once you had submitted your invoice for the work, you would qualify for the credit. I think we have to call it credit. And so you'd get $3,800 back.
1 year.
Right.
Yes.
They can send you a check right away as soon as it's submit, it's been approved. Let me just ask Robert a question. Robert, did anybody go up and look at how these chimneys are constructed in this house? And
Probably
let me tell you why. Most of these old houses, they used a step chimney, floor to floor, and then they saddled the floor joists on it. Because what they did was they erected a wall all together. So you had this 4 walls, and now you start building the floors. Not like they do today. Problem is that you have to be careful when you start to remove chimneys and bricks. You have floors. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the three chimney company, they inspected it and they actually confirmed that this is gone straight up and there's no problem to remove it.
Most chimney people have not seen this. They have not seen what was used. When was this house built?
It's one of the older
It
ones.
was it was 1915.
Okay, I'm telling you, they used a step chimney.
Yeah.
Because that's how they did the floors. That's why. Do you have any sagging doorways where they're crooked?
Only at the back where it was a new extension.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
All I'm suggesting is that God bless their chimney companies, but most of them have not seen a step chimney where it was used as a structural part of the house. And it was a structural part to hold the floors up. Okay, so they start taking chimneys out, you got to be careful. All right, okay, just suggesting that.
No, definitely. Thank you. I
Okay.
appreciate that.
Now, the front roof, when I looked at it, are you going to repaint that when you put the new roof on the upper roof in?
Well, it's already red.
I don't think it's required because the roof,
It
the
looks
front
okay?
roof is
It's in great- it's in great
it's
Yeah, I
new.
didn't walk up there and look at it. I mean, it
did.
looked like it was in
New.
pretty good shape.
It's
Okay.
in great.
And-
I did.
Yeah.
And it
Good.
looks like
Excellent.
contemporary metal, which is a baked enamel
Yeah,
finish
well,
rather
it's-
than a paint.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
They use powder coating on that metal.
Mhm.
That's why it sticks forever. Okay.
So,
Any questions? Any other questions, Karen?
so are you and based on what you were just saying? I mean, our preference obviously would be to have you replace the tin roof, but are you actually asking us to approve both? In other words, to potentially approve the shingles, but also give you permission to replace the tin roof, which would be replacement in kind, essentially,
If you can find the money.
if you can
If
find.
that would be actually ideal for me because I love to be able to replace it with the same thin roofing because I love the look of the the metal roof. So if I can manage to somehow
I know it's
come up with the
we
money,
understand it.
I would love to do that.
Ready for motion?
I'm ready for a motion, Mr. Chairman. I move that we approve HDC, what the hell, 056, 2019, for removal of the chimneys with the recommendation that you look and see if they're step. The roof replacement with architectural shingles in the same red color as the existing roof with the existing porch roof to remain the same. But also permission to replace the existing tin roof if it becomes financially possible, and also to install, actually this says two, it's actually to install 2 hanging signs and the 1 mounted sign on the corner.
Yes.
Along with lighting, spotlight type of lighting for that sign if you find it necessary to light the sign. You have a motion? Do you have
And
a
I'll second that.
Call roll.
Ms. Lubanecki,
Yes?
Ms. McSaney,
Yes.
Councilmember Les,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Good luck to you there.
Thank
Good
you
luck.
so much. I like to acknowledge Brooke's help. I mean, she's been really great, efficient, responsive. Thank you so much. And everybody, Nathan, Thea, everybody at the office. Thank you.
I also understand that there is a state credit
Oh, yeah.
that can get you up to 20% of the cost of the project. It's convoluted to apply for, but
For interior work.
There's more information on our website about it as well.
for to make a building habitable, and a roof would qualify
Right.
as making a building habitable. So that, put together, that would be
You have to
30%.
tie the roof together with being able to stay in the house.
But you're good because you're going to be living upstairs. My understanding is.
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Great.
So if it's leaking, that's not habitable.
Yes.
Right.
Excellent.
So maybe you can get some more.
Thank
Right.
you,
We
Kay.
would like
Okay.
that. Thank you so much.
And
You're
welcome.
very welcome.
Agenda item 5, HDC 63, 2019 for 333 Prince George Street, submitted by Oscar de la Puente. Okay, Oscar was in front of us in 2016. If I remember correctly, you replaced 5 windows, 4 windows.
I replaced 5 windows.
5 windows, okay. Now he's got money in his pocket and he's ready to replace some more windows.
Good evening.
Go ahead,
Good
Oscar.
So I'm just requesting the commission to allow me to continue to replace the home windows. Now I'm planning to replace the top windows facing the front of the street. There are 3 windows, and they are 31 by 58, and I will replace them with Georgetown Series double hung. And the existing windows have grids that are 2/2. But when I bought the house, I found that all of the windows were different. So most of the windows that I found were 2/1. So that's why I started replacing some of the bottom floor windows with 2/1. So I would like to do the same with the top floor, so all the windows could be 2/1. That's what my plan is. I want to replace the entire house windows, all of the house windows with 2/1.
And Oscar, one of them will have non-see-through tempered glass, correct?
That is correct because, and the only reason for that is because that window is right next to the bathtub. So I would like that window to be a privacy.
I don't know why, but okay.
Okay, and I'll note that, thank you, Brooke, for putting on the application now they expire 1 year. We didn't have that. We knew it was in place. We just didn't have it on the application. All right, questions of Oscar?
May I make a motion that we approve HDC number 063-2019 to replace 3 windows?
No second.
I'll second.
Thank you. The motion is second. Call the roll, please. Brooke?
Ms. Frazier?
Yes?
Ms. McSweeney?
Yes.
Councilmember Les?
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Oscar.
Thank
And I
you.
would like to thank Good for her guidance through this process. Thank you.
Okay, we'll move to agenda item number 6, HCC 062, 2019 for 421 Prince George Street, submitted by Karen Lubinecki.
Mr. Chairman,
I'll notice that Ms. Lubinecki is going to step off the podium, as she is the applicant for this
right,
one,
I will obviously recuse myself from this.
right?
I have a technical question. Does this mean we do not have a quorum, or
Yeah,
that
we
we
do
still?
have a quorum. We
Okay.
established a quorum at the opening of the meeting.
Okay.
Okay, Karen,
Karen Lubinecki, 421 Prince George Street. I'm applying for 2 different things. One is based on recent breaks again. I realized that we need to enhance the accessibility to our house, and our front steps have 4 large steps to get up, and we can enter our back door by 2 steps. You would have thought I had learned that last time I broke a leg, but no. Anyway, so what we would like to do is we would like to extend our current driveway, which currently is brick pavers, to the back by putting in 2 cobblestone strips up to the back door steps, at which point it would become a flat pad to the garage. We've talked with John Russo, who is a contractor, and he suggested the cobblestone these would look like cobblestones. It's a stamped concrete. And that is the plan to do. Our plan is to use the gray. I left the color up there, Mr. Chairman. You see it. The one that's circled, the gray that's circled would be the color of the cotton. No, not the
Oh, this
yeah,
one.
That one, yeah. We had, the pavers actually have gray in them, so that would match that.
So the existing driveway is going to stay in
The
place.
existing driveway remains the same. It's in perfectly fine shape. So this would just be 2 strips going up. It's not a whole new driveway. It's extending the current driveway.
Okay.
Right, the original form here.
Wait a minute.
So if you look at your application, the materials, you'll see there's kind of 2 cobblestone things. But think of this as going from where the brick ends.
Okay.
Right.
This is the front of the house?
Where you see the 2 strips, that's the actual house. So
This is the house.
Yes.
this is our house.
So you're going to change the driveway to 2 strips?
No, there is no driveway
So
there.
the driveway ends here. This is the current
Oh,
driveway
gotcha.
where my thumb is.
Gotcha.
Okay, so we're putting it, right now there's just currently grass in this whole area, okay? And so the plan is to do that, though I would actually like to add a sidebar to this for a second permission relating to this. Since the goal here is to make this, if one were on crutches or something, easy to get up. I mean, frankly, that's thinking behind this. When I'm thinking about this stamped concrete, and I have asked Mr. Russo to please give me a couple of examples so I can actually look at it to make sure that the indentations are not excessive. If it turns out it's excessive, I'm also then asking permission to do a regular concrete flat strip. My preference is to use the cobblestone look, but if it turns out that actually is not going to work, as it's a safety issue more than anything else. So that's the main issue. The secondary part, unfortunately, and believe me, this isn't unfortunate, is that because of the way the Norwegian maple tree is in our backyard, which is a tree that we have actually attempted to save over the years. We built our entire deck around it. We've had Adirondack come in and trim it a number of times to try to maintain this tree. The way the roots are for this tree, they go right under the steps to the back, and to do the excavation to put in the concrete, whichever type we use, he's going to end up cutting the roots completely, which are going to kill this tree. So the choice would be to leave a tree dying, which ends up with branches and things. I mean, I'm not happy. This tree leaves out in front of my personal office, and I see the bird. So it's just not gee, I can't wait to tear this tree down. I hate the thought of doing it, but that's the 2 things relating to the driveway. The other request, which is mostly replacement in kind, we need to paint our front porch and the front porch roof. And all of that is replacement in kind, except I'm thinking I might want to change it to blue, which is if you look at the Pantone book there you have, Mr. Chairman. Mm-hmm. In your packet, the blue did not come out as a blue. And if you look at the one with it's 540.
And those are not original colors anyway.
No.
You're not, yeah.
No, but it would be a change in color, so it requires permission.
May I just
Sure.
consider a thought? I know Mr. Russo, and he can color concrete. If
No,
he
he can color. He could color if we did the flat strips.
Right, he could color it.
He mentioned that to me.
Yeah.
He can color them gray also.
No, I meant if you have the red bricks in front, he can make the concrete red.
I understand. If you look at the picture, I think that I submitted, or at least in this,
You want to match the gray in the...
And the pavers have actually faded enough that there is actually gray in the paver at this point. If you look like Ms. Mancini has. So that's why I actually prefer the gray.
Okay.
But yes, but it would match the color. There is that color already in the pavers in the driveway.
Okay, so I get the driveway. I'm good with that. I'm extremely pleased about the tree because it's invasive.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it is a Norwegian maple. It is invasive, and the helicopters are a pain in the neck.
You know, my question is, and now the blue. So the blue is instead of
The green.
the green. So
I haven't
you'll
made up
still
my
have-
mind yet, but I would like permission to do the blue. If
And you'll keep the buff color.
the buff, it'll stay the buff color.
Okay, because somewhere, and now I can't find it, I thought I saw yellow.
Well, I think you
That's
call
the
it
buff.
yellow, but it's,
Okay.
it's the buff.
All right, that was. May I make a motion?
Go ahead, Ms. Amy.
I would like to move that we approve HDC 062-2019 to, let me back up. This is where I think the confusion was. Replace the existing driveway, because
No,
you
there
are
was an
not
error.
replacing.
If you look at your,
Right.
if you look at your new agenda, the one that Brooke put on the,
Oh, is that what the difference is?
that is the difference. Or that's the
Oh.
difference on that application,
Okay,
right?
all right, so I move we approve HDC 062-2019 for 421 Prince George Street to extend the driveway in the gray color with or without the cobblestone indentation, because we're all about safe, and approve the removal of the maple tree and approve the repainting of the porch with blue to replace the green if the homeowner wishes.
I second the amendment.
Have motion second. Call the roll.
Ms. McSweeney?
Yes.
Ms. Frazier?
Yes,
Councilmember Les?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Karen. Move to agenda item number 7, HTC 59, 2019, for 507B Montgomery Street. Submitted by Santos Jose Perez Fuentes. The request to install a new roof from brown to dark gray. Roof has already been replaced. Install 5 new double hung windows from 3/3 grids to no grids. Windows have already been installed. Install new front door from a 6-panel steel red maroon to a top half glass and solid bottom door in similar burgundy color. And to paint the aluminum siding from tan beige to whisper gray color. The front door and siding have not been completed. State your name and address to the record if you would.
Yes, this is Santos Jose Perez Fuentes, and the address we're referring to is the 507B Montgomery Street.
And my name's Aaron Wiederman. Same address.
Okay.
Okay, so we replaced the roof already before we came to the HTC, correct?
And they've
Yeah,
replaced
Mr.
the windows.
And replaced the window.
Yeah, Mr. Perez bought the property in auction.com, and I started the work after he bought it and received notice about historic district. Spoke to Brooke and immediately stopped. Brooke had mentioned that I guess the statute in Maryland are supposed to disclose it by a historic property.
Correct.
It wasn't disclosed. I was unaware. Started the work.
Did you buy it through a real estate agent?
No, it was literally online auction.com.
There had to be a real estate agent involved, and there's a $25,000 recovery you can make against real estate agents if they disclose. Just telling you that. Somewhere there was a real estate agent involved.
They represented auction.com. That might be.
Somewhere there's a real estate agent involved, and the real estate commission allows recovery up to $25,000 for them failing to disclose to a purchaser all the appropriate facts. I'll just point that out.
Yep.
Having been a real estate agent myself, and that's the law of the land. Okay, so bear with me a minute. So we replaced the upper windows with 1/1, correct?
Yes, double hung.
But
All of
lower-
the windows. No,
Huh?
5 windows.
He's
from the
replaced
front.
all the
They're all
windows.
replaced.
Okay,
All the front,
Replaced all the front.
And the back window,
the whole house, basically.
because I live
Well,
behind
hold
you.
it. When was this picture taken, Brooke? Okay, I see three windows, one over one, and I see two lower windows that still have grids. What, did you replace the lower windows after you became aware that this was in the historic district?
No, when we replace the window, we replace it all one time.
When was this picture taken? I'm only asking a question because I've got a picture in front of me. Just three new windows upstairs,
Oh, yeah.
two windows
Was that picture
downstairs,
taken
and still
before notice was sent?
6 over 6.
I think it's only one window we didn't replace. It was still there, but all the other windows were.
No, there's two here that
There's two here that have grid
Oh,
right here.
Oh no, that's the existing original
That's a
window.
grid there.
That's all the original windows. Yeah, that was taken before we.
I think that's the label, just like the new one.
I think that
You
picture
see,
was in the summer.
I'm looking at
Yeah,
it.
one of
this
them still
too.
has the grid.
I don't know.
I think that's the same sign.
I think one of them has the grids, not two of them. I think that would be.
But
But
yes.
nonetheless,
Are you aware that there are companies that will retrofit grids? You can buy retrofitted grids that are specifically formatted for any particular brand, for lots of particular brands.
Not for this window. We use a vinyl windows. When you use wood window, you can get grid.
no, you can get.
No, you can get
Yes, for
vinyl.
vinyl
you
windows.
can get and
We've approved vinyl windows with grids.
Okay.
And you
I'm
can
sorry.
get
Go ahead, Mr. Lubinecki.
let Ms. Fraser finish.
you can get aftermarket grids that are designed for different manufacturers' windows.
Okay. So if we add the grid to it, we good with the windows.
I would feel very strongly about making sure that you add the grids, because what you are doing affects the value of all the other houses on that block of townhouses. They may not be the oldest townhouses. They're probably how old, Mark? You own?
They are, they're
Probably
43 years old.
So they're very close to the 50. 50 years is when
Yeah.
things start actually
76
legally
or
be
77.
considered historic, just generally. And they are in the district. But more importantly, part of what makes a historic district work is the conformity to certain standards. And all the other houses in your block, all of these townhouses, both on the other street, but most importantly, the ones that face Montgomery, all have the 6 over 6. Okay, so by putting in the 1 over 1s, you've basically impacted the look and the value of all the other houses. What you've done is do something to those houses also, in my opinion. So I would feel very strongly that you'd be required to put grids in, Mr. Chairman. Is there a picture? Did I miss the picture of the door that's showing there?
Are you still working on the house?
Yes, we working on the inside. We stopped doing outside. We're supposed to do some outside
The
work.
house is for sale right now, I noticed. There's
No,
a for sale. There's a for sale sign on the house, right?
It's an agent sign, but it's not for sale. The house is not for sale.
It's an
right?
agent sign?
The real estate agent, before it went on the market, put her sign up, starting. And it's going to go on the market when the house is done.
Right, so
But it's not in the MRIS or anything. You just put it up there to start.
so you're basically flipping the house.
Yeah, he's fixing it.
So the work, we are concerned about work inside of houses, but what kind of work is being done inside? Plumbing, electrical?
No, we're just doing cosmetic fixing, replacing vanities, cabinet, floors, painting.
Okay. And you still have work to do outside the house,
Yes.
and you're going to paint siding?
Yeah, I really want to paint the siding because there's no solid color on it. I can't even tell what color the siding is. It used to probably tan or some part look like darker, gray. So if I can come up with a color, I was thinking use gray, but if I had to go with the same original color, I don't have a problem with that.
And this is aluminum siding,
It's aluminum.
and we're going to paint it.
Yes.
Good luck.
But we would have to approve the color.
Yeah,
Right,
I
did you
understand, I
bring-
understand it.
Did you
But-
bring a sample of the color?
We submitted when we online. It was a whisper gray.
Is that one of our approved colors? Okay. Oh, it's in here?
Oh, here, but yeah.
Oh,
Ah,
okay. I didn't
I
understand
didn't
what
see
that was.
yeah, I didn't see it either.
I saw it, but I didn't think that that was the color.
I mean, I'm just going to point out, I had to replace all the siding on my house. And the insurance company told me that painting replacement siding they found in a salvage yard was not going to work. It was aluminum siding. I'm just,
No, we paint siding all the time. There's a special paint for it.
yeah, I understand that, but the problem is with aluminum siding, it extracts, it expands and contracts. And the paint does not expand and contract. That was told to me by Travelers Insurance Company. Just good luck. Because you're impacting the value of adjacent houses. And you're going to be gone by then.
Really?
Because you're flipping the house.
Mr. Perez is the general contractor. He's done work for me on projects.
Understand?
He doesn't cut. I'm just letting you know. I mean, I understand the flipping. You know, it can have bad or negative connotation because you're in and you're out. That's not how Mr. Perez.
Would a good power washing do the trick?
I'm just
Siding is like
he wants to change the color. That's what we're going to vote on
Yeah.
tonight. But I'm just pointing out that there is a potential problem here. And there's nothing we can do about it. Okay. Any other questions?
Are you going to do anything to the shutters?
paint them to the original color.
And you haven't replaced the door yet,
No.
because there aren't any other doors quite like this.
Is there a reason you, instead of picking a solid door, which all the other houses have, that you picked a...
The reason why we're doing just get some more light inside, but if we have to go with the same kind door, we can. The door is damaged, so we've got to replace.
Yeah, I
it.
know you have to replace. I mean, it's in terrible
We can
shape.
use the same style. 6 panel.
I think that actually is.
Yeah, I think that would look better.
Yeah.
What's the pleasure of the commission?
Mr. Chairman, I'm prepared to make a motion that we approve 59 HDC 59 2019 or 507B Montgomery Street with the following modifications: that the windows have grids, so it's 6/6. That you install some aftermarket grids, so that the 6/6 matches the other windows in the complex, and that the 6-panel door be replaced in kind. Though I would say that if he wanted to do a solid window that had very small lights on top, I would find that acceptable. In other words, if it had just small squares on top, let a little more light in, I understand the question, but not the full light one that you were proposing.
Okay.
Okay.
So
And approve the color to whisper gray
And the shutters in kind.
and the shutters in kind. Thank you.
Color and kind. Have a motion, to have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Call the roll.
Ms. Lubinecki?
Yes.
Ms. McSaney?
Yes.
Councilmember Les?
Yes.
Ms. Frazier?
Yes.
Motion carries.
You have a
Thank you.
question?
yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
So
Ask away.
when Mr. Perez purchases the front door, can he submit it to you guys to make sure that it meets your approval, or take a picture of it at the store, submit it to you guys to verify that before
That
he
could
actually buys
probably,
it?
I don't even,
Well, if it's a 6-panel door or like, the staff will approve it.
Right, and we've given the
And if you, I mean, some of those doors come with little
like three lights
three
across
lights on the top.
on the very top.
They
If,
can
if that
approve
if that's
That's
what
it,
you,
we could-
Yeah.
right, you can send that to
Yes.
us, and we can do a
Yes.
quick
Yeah.
staff. We can do a approval.
They'll take care of it.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
so much for
All right.
coming in.
Thank you.
And that's a house that needs work, so we're glad to have someone doing some work and improving it.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice porch though on the side.
Yeah, it
That-
is.
That's a plus. Is that in? Are you going to keep the porch?
Yeah, we're gonna replace. Oh, just in the maybe fix the screen.
Okay.
Bill without permit. Number 8, HDC 64, 2019, 367 Main Street, submitted by Ernest Freeman, requesting to install new signage on awning to read Freeman Financial Services in white lettering, gray background. State your name and address for the record, sir.
I'm sorry. Good evening. 367 Main Street.
And you're Mr. Freeman?
Yes.
Okay, great.
And you're going to be taking that yellow sign down April 1. Is that correct?
Yes, we'll be put together.
And you actually started. You're open for business already, are you not?
Well, we did.
I saw desks and it's open, and so you're underway.
Yeah.
So the awning, you're getting a brand new awning?
No, just the
Front
one.
panel,
Yeah,
yes, front panel.
yeah. Everything going to
Okay,
remain in
because
this
it-
station.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it will be painted on the old awning?
No, I mean the words going to come down. Just putting new words.
Oh, the letters.
Yeah,
can
letters.
come
I
off?
mean the letters.
No.
Just putting new letters.
Don't they put a new panel up there with the lettering on it?
I do not know how they're going to do that, but
Yeah,
I think
what
it's
they
just
do
the
is they
letter.
put a new strip up there.
All right. Okay. Well, the
Okay.
owner is going to do that.
Okay. Well, you might want to check, and I just do this as a point of warning. If you look down the street further, the people who painted over the Minuteman press, you can now still. It's not.
Yeah.
It looks really terrible.
It's the total copy.
Total
is at
copy,
The one end and
The dress shop. I forget the name,
but
but
it's a long green awning.
Okay.
Yeah, the ideal situation is they cut a new panel, put the lettering on the panel, and then attach that to the existing awning.
Okay, because I
And it
think
doesn't bleed through. You don't see anything. You see your sign up.
Yeah.
right now you're sort of seeing the Minuteman bleeding through, and it doesn't look very
I mean,
good.
I
So-
hope that won't happen.
Right.
And you said the Hishmis are going to
Yes,
do this
yes,
for you?
yes,
Okay.
yes. They're responsible for that,
Okay.
but they need
That's
an
good.
approval in order to go ahead.
Right.
Good. And then you've got some signage in the window,
Yeah.
and you've got the small signage on the side panel, and then the hours of operation on the front door.
Yes.
And Brooks checked all the square footage, and we're good to go. All right.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to approve HDC 064 2019 as presented.
Okay. Got a second.
I'll second.
Thank you. Call the roll, Brooks.
Ms. McStaney,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Councilmember Les,
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki,
yes.
motion carries.
Good luck to you.
Thank
Good
you
luck.
so much. I appreciate
Welcome to Main Street.
it. Thank you. I
Yes.
appreciate it. Thanks.
Move to agenda item number 9, HTC 61, 2019, 206 10th Street. Laura, if you state your name and address for the record, just tell us what you want to do.
Laura Pelletier, 206 10th Street. Good evening.
No.
I got a fence put up in May that's a 5-foot tall fence around my backyard. And it comes about 3 to 4 inches off the ground. And I'm going to be having a pool put in. So it has to be 6. So we are hoping to add 1 foot to my 5-foot fence to meet the 6-foot guideline. And the way we are going to do that is we're going to put boards on every single post that are coming up 12 inches above the top of the current fence. Like that.
Like this or
the-
this?
The boards, every single post is going to have a board on it that's above the existing fence by 1 foot, and then
Showing.
4 boards
Yes.
are going to be put horizontally.
Yeah.
I think you have a picture of my existing fence.
Right, but we also
Yes,
have,
we do.
Right.
so are you going to have to, all of those are curved. Are you going to have to cut all of those to be flat?
What's curved?
The dog ears at the top of the.
The dog
existing-
ears are going to unfortunately not be visible. They're not going to be the top of the fence anymore. When I got the fence, I paid extra for the dog ears because they looked so good. But I
Naturally.
didn't know that I would be able to be doing the pool. Had I known that, I would have done some research and gotten the dog ears on a 6-foot fence.
I'm sure you would.
It's one of those kicking yourself kind of things.
Right.
This is an interesting pool. I spoke to Linda on the phone. He's actually cutting the pool back into the embankment.
Wow.
Into my whole backyard is sloped.
Right. Wow.
And I paid a little extra for the kind of pool that can be built right into the slope.
Wow.
And
It's
it's
interesting.
above ground, but it's going to be at the one end will look like it's almost all the way in the ground. But the full 5 feet of the, and I don't have that fence out front anymore.
Right.
So in order to have the pool, I have to make the fence 6 feet tall. And after talking to several fence contractors and doing a ton of research, the prettiest way I could see doing it was adding 4 horizontal boards.
Okay.
Because they said it had to be permanent and a barrier, and it's going to be wood, just like the wood that's there now. And I got prices on staining, because I'm going to stain the fence that exists there that's only 10 months old, and the 1 foot addition, but I have to let the 1 foot addition age a few months. And then, so they said August, September, they'll come back and stain the entire thing, the modification and the fence. And it's going to be a reddish stain. I think you have a picture of it to
Yes.
match my
Yeah.
shutter.
Toner.
It's a clever solution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
It was
sure
either
you.
that or tear the fence down and pay for another fence. And my contractor's right here that's going to work on the fence. In case you had any questions for him.
So this is what it will look like.
Very close to that, except see, the posts in that one are dark.
Yes.
It's all going to be the exact same color.
Okay. But
A reddish.
the wood pieces are going to be the same. I mean, this is the style
The-
that it's going to be.
This is the format.
Yes.
Okay.
He's cutting boards to how many inches they each of the four? So there'll be 8. It looks like lattice, but instead of the crisscross,
Right.
it's
Okay.
Crisscross.
the horizontal.
Right.
That's a fence, I believe, that was built with that in mind from the beginning, not
Oh,
modified.
this wasn't retrofitted. Okay.
Yeah,
No.
this one isn't board on board.
That is the closest thing I could find to show you what my finished fence will look
Okay.
like. He's putting that top onto my existing fence.
You have my sympathy.
You have no idea. And
Take a picture of the pool when you're done and give it to Robert. They'll hang it up in the
well,
office.
right before the meeting, I submitted my permit for the pool application, and I gave them the catalog that the pool company gave me. So there's a picture of it in there.
Good.
So the only thing going on in my backyard that you'll see from anywhere is the modification, adding the 1 foot to my fence to meet the 6-foot requirement.
Any other questions? Entertain a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve a 061-2019 for 206 10th Street as submitted.
I'll second that.
A motion and a second, call roll.
Ms. Lubinecki?
Yes?
Ms. McStaney?
Yes.
Councilmember Les?
Yes.
Ms. Frazier?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you for your patience, Lara.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
Appreciate it. Thanks for your.
we have agenda item 10, tax credit for 320 Montgomery Street, submitted by James and Suma Penrose for certificate of approval 78 2019. Replacing windows cost $43.06 and the requested amount of the credit is $430.06.
Well, this is the one we had some confusion over last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Looks good now.
Okay. We have to vote on these, Brooke. Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we approve HDC 078-2018 for the replacement of 5 windows at 320 Montgomery Street.
I'll second that. Well, I'll amend it and say 4 windows.
Oh, I'm sorry, 4 windows.
That's okay.
It's actually for the.
Have a motion and a second, call the roll, Brooke.
Ms. Frazier?
Yes.
Ms. McStaney?
Yes.
Councilmember Les?
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki?
Yes?
Motion carries.
Agenda item 11, tax credit for 327 Montgomery Street. Made by Elvin Duran.
Carnahan.
Huh?
Carnahan.
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 My handwriting, I'm sure.
I apologize.
That's okay. I get that
It's
all the
my
time.
mouth. That's the problem. For approval
Yes.
of HDC certificate 57 2019 for replacing roof shingles, cost $19,500, and the requested credit is $1,950. Any question of the applicant? Entertain a motion.
I move that we approve the tax credit request for 327 Montgomery Street, HDC 057-2019, as submitted.
I'll second that.
Motion is second, call roll, Brooke.
Ms. Lubinecki?
Yes?
Ms. McStaney?
Yes.
Councilmember Les?
Yes.
Ms. Frazier?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much for your
Thank you.
patience tonight.
If I could make one comment to follow up on what Marlene had to say about the state benefit. It's a major benefit. It's 20% of your cost from $5,000 to $250,000. But I have yet to encounter anybody that knows about this.
Well, I think it's a convoluted approach.
Well, it is. She used the word convoluted, but I would say the application is very daunting. But it probably should be if they're going to give away that kind of money.
Yeah.
I'm doing it now for our roof. I've done it once before for our central air. Worth it. It's too bad it doesn't have more publicity out there.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Robert and Brooke to take a look at that, and maybe we need to do a better job back in the HDC office when applications are made, where we tell the applicant, look, in addition to the city, you need to consider this. I mean, I didn't even think of roof, but that improves the living conditions inside the structure.
I thought I'd be rejected for that. They have a very wide definition of what habitability is. I probably can't get it for painting my fence, but
and I think the key here tonight is to let Kay know that she's going to live in that place.
It is located. It is on our website.
Yeah, but I think we need, it's like the 1 year limit. We probably need to do a little better job of engaging the applicant so they're aware of that.
We
That's
could
all.
maybe put a flyer at the front counter or something about it as well.
Well, put it on your checklist. I'm hell for checklist. So you mention it to them, then they can't say you didn't tell me about it. But Kay's a good example. You're going to spend a lot of money on that roof one way or the other. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Okay,
that.
thanks.
And that might make the difference between her doing the tin roof and not doing the tin roof.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, move to agenda item number 12, tax credit for 412 Montgomery Street, submitted by Betsy Welsh for approval, HDC 028-2019 for replacing all gutters and gutter guards on house. The cost was $64.50, and the requested amount of the credit is $645.
I move we approve the tax credit.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Call roll.
Ms. McSweeney?
Yes.
Ms. Frazier?
Yes.
Councilmember Liz?
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, we have two HDs. We have two applicants that were approved by staff. 919 Montgomery Street.
And mine's on there, but we actually covered it in the.
Right. Karen's back on the list again.
Yep.
Okay, any questions? All right, any new business?
I have just a question for the staff, just out of curiosity. Has there been any movement on the Vietnamese restaurant? Did you know if anything, if there's, I mean, anything, if they've done anything? I mean,
Karen likes pho.
like the pho. I like pho, but I just wondered if you know, it's sort of just been sitting there. I'm just wondering. It's out of curiosity.
I think so. I recall some permits coming through. I don't have an exact time on exactly when they were planning on opening.
I just wondered if anything.
And what about the other restaurant?
Which one?
The one,
The rooftop?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's probably going to be more like I'm thinking the end of the summer, most likely. He's probably going to kill me for quoting him on that, but
Well, no, I was just talking to some people who were looking at the house that's for sale across from me.
yeah, no, he's been pulling permits and all that for that, so I know he's working towards, I think, around the end of summer, most likely.
Fantastic.
But we'll see.
I think one of the difficulties with restaurants is grease trap, size of the sewer line, size of the water line, and getting the permits from WSSC. It's not from the city.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else?
Adjourn.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good meeting.